So, any one of you have any question you want to ask? If you want to ask, we can give you the microphone. You want to know what I said just now? Okay. Well, I started with the mentioning of today's special event, the cremation of the king, and explaining what it is about. Yeah. Cremation is the separation of the four elements that has combined to form the body. But once the body stops functioning, you have to separate them in order to speed the process of separation. So you use the method of cremation. If you leave the body alone, it will separate, but it will take longer time. Like in ancient India, when people die, they just put the body in the cemetery. They don't bury or they don't cremate. They just leave it to the element to separate by themselves. But in modern days, we use cremation method because we don't have much space to keep the body, and it's the most efficient way of separating the four elements, returning the four elements back to its original form. Our body are made from the four elements: the earth, water, fire, and wind. So when the body stops functioning, we cremate the body to separate the fire element, the water element, the air element, and all you have left after the cremation is the earth element, the ashes and the remaining bone fragments. So this is what the body is. It's just the four elements. There's no you, me, or anybody in this body. You, me are in the mind, and in another element we call the knowing element. The mind is the knowing element, the fifth element, that come and conjoin with the four elements to form the human life. It is the knowing element which we call the mind, which thinks and knows, which is the one that direct or tell the body what to do. The body is like a slave. The mind is like the master. The mind tells the body to come here, to go there, to eat, to sleep, to walk, to do everything. It is the mind. Without the mind, the body cannot do anything. And it is the mind who will be the one to receive the consequence of the mind's action. See, the mind will do three types of action. We call karma. Actions are karma. Good karma, bad karma, and neutral karma. Good karma means when you do something for other people, make other people happy, help other people. This is called good karma. When you do bad karma, it means when you hurt other people. This is bad karma. And neutral karma is when you don't hurt or do any good for anybody. Like when you're looking after your own self, your body. When you go shopping, when you work, when you eat, when you wash your body. This is neutral karma. Not good and it's not bad. It doesn't hurt anybody and it doesn't help or do anything for other people. So we call this neutral karma. And these three karma has result or consequence. Good karma will make you feel good, happy inside your mind. This good feeling is what we call heaven when you die. When the body die, the mind doesn't die with the body. And if the mind have good action, it will have good feeling accompany it. So we call the mind goes to heaven. but actually there is no going or coming for the mind, because the mind has no size or shape. The mind remains stationary, except it changes from happiness or suffering. If you do good karma, you will be happy. So when there is no body, we call this mind is in heaven. It's the other way. If you do bad karma, you hurt other people, such as killing other people, stealing things, committing adultery, lying, or drinking alcohol. You are making other people, you are hurting other people, and then it will make your mind unhappy. You don't feel good when you when you uh, when you do bad karma, and this bad feeling is what we call hell or abhaya. When you do bad karma, your mind will be transformed from human being into animals, because the animal they only do bad karma. Like animal have to eat other animal for their existence, or killing other people's food for their existence. So animals, the mind of human will turn into animals. So after the body of the human die, then the mind that has turned into animal will pick up an animal body. So you'll be born as a dog or as a cat, as a bird or as a fish. Depends on what kind of bad karma you did. So this is what we call the law of karma. Whatever you do, there will be consequence. Good karma will give you good feeling, will make you go to heaven. Bad feeling will make you go to hell or go to animal realms, or be a hungry ghost. These are the result of your good and bad karma. And once you have went to heaven or go to hell, afterwards you will return. After you have spent your bad karma or good karma, then your mind will then return and take up a new body and be reborn as a human being again. And this is what we call the process of rebirth. After you die, you go to heaven or you go to hell, or you born as an animal, and after you have expired your bad karma or good karma, then you come back and born as a human being, and to do more good or bad karma, depending on whether you know it or not. If you happen to live with people who know, such as the Buddha or Buddhism, then you will be taught not to do bad karma and to do only good karma. And Buddhism will also teach you the way not to return to be reborn again, because the Buddha has discovered the origin or the cause of our rebirth. Our rebirth are caused up by our cravings or desire. The desire to use the body as the means of bringing us happiness. We have to have a body in order to see, to hear things that we want to see and hear. And we use this body to take us places, to do things to make us happy. So as long as we rely on this body as a means of producing happiness for us, we will always have to come back and reborn to have a new body after this body expires, because every body only exists for a certain length of time. After 80, 90 years, the body will have to die. But the desire to use the body doesn't die with the body. So it brings mind to go take a new body. This is what we call rebirth. Once you are reborn, then you have to go through the process of suffering. You have to get old, get sick and die. You have to worry about your existence. You have to fight to stay alive. This is all suffering according to the Buddha. If you don't want to suffer, then you should stop rebirth. In order to stop rebirth, you must stop using your body as the means of providing you happiness. And in order to stop using the body, you must know a new way of bringing happiness to you. And this is this is what you have to do if you don't want to use the body to bring you happiness. You have to meditate, because when you meditate, when your mind becomes calm, you can have happiness without using the body. Once you can master this meditation practice, then you can have happiness without having to have the body. So after this body dies, then you don't have to come back and reborn again. So right now you still depend on your body to make you to bring you happiness. So now you must start learning how to meditate, so that you can stop using the body to bring you happiness, and you use meditation to bring you happiness, because it's the better form of happiness. It lasts forever. It stays with you. The happiness that you get from the body only temporarily. That's why it keeps you to keep coming back for more. But if you have the happiness from meditation, it is the happiness arises in the mind itself and will stay with the mind, which doesn't die with the body. So once you have this happiness of mind, you don't need the happiness of body anymore. Then you don't need to be reborn again. And when you don't reborn, then you don't have to suffer like we are suffering now. So this is basically what my talk was about. To teach people to stop doing bad karma and do good karma, and also try to meditate so that you can stop using the body to bring you happiness. Once you no longer need the body, then you don't have to use the body. When you die, when this body dies, you don't have to go look for a new body anymore. That's what the Buddha and his noble disciple had done. Right now they still exist, but they exist without having to have a body. The mind can exist by itself without having to rely on the body. If the mind can have happiness in itself, and in order to have happiness in itself, you have to meditate. Once you know how to meditate, then you can have happiness within yourself. So you don't have to rely on the body to bring you happiness anymore. So this is what the teaching of the Buddha is about. It's teaching us to find a new way of happiness and stop using the old way of happiness, because the old way keeps you coming back to reborn again and again. And once you are born, you have to go through the aging process, you have to get sick, and you have to die every time, which is not good. And you can avoid this, you can stop this by learning how to meditate. Once you know how to meditate, you can be happy from meditation. Then you don't need to have the body. Then when this body dies, you don't have to come back and reborn again. So this is basically what my talk was about. And if you want to ask some question, please raise your hand. I'll send you the microphone so people can hear your question. อยู่ข้างหลังเลยอยู่ข้างหลัง Wait, somebody in behind. Turn on the microphone. Push it up.
Ajahn, I understand the importance to emphasize on meditation. On the other hand, how about reading the Dhamma, listening to the Dhamma, or reading the suttas? Are they equally important?
Yes, you need to first learn how to meditate. And by reading the sutta, you'll learn how to meditate. You learn what you need to have before you can meditate. Like you have to keep the 8 precepts before you can meditate, or else you will not be able to have the time to meditate if you don't keep the 8 precepts. The 8 precepts will prevent you from doing other activities. Prevent you from going outside, going to movie houses, going shopping, going places, or going to parties or dinner. Then you would have the time to meditate.
As a lay people, what would be the amount of time should be spent?
As much as possible.
As much as possible.
Whenever you have the free time, instead of using the body to bring you happiness, try to meditate instead. Instead of going playing golf or going shopping or going holiday, go to a temple and meditate. If you can find a temple, stay in your house. If you can find a quiet some place somewhere in your house, just lock yourself up in that room and then try to meditate. Before you can meditate successfully, you need to have mindfulness first. So you must constantly maintaining mindfulness by using a mantra to stop you from thinking. Like you can recite Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Or you can keep focusing on your body action. Whatever you do, keep your mind focused on that action only. Don't let your mind go think about something at the same time. Like when you are washing yourself, brushing, combing your hair, dressing, just stay with that action. Don't let your mind go think about other people or things. Then you will have mindfulness. Your mind will be one-pointed. So when you sit in meditation, when you sit still, your mind can become fully absorbed and become one, become calm and peaceful and happy.
To clarify, the happiness from meditation is the happiness of samadhi. Is that correct?
Yes, samadhi.
And as a lay people, how we continue to maintain the mindfulness, because most of us working, family life, issues of the daily life.
You just have to do as much as you can from where you are and try to reduce the amount of interaction you have with people. Try to reduce down your commitment, your whatever you do with other people.
Last question. Personally, I experience some kind of happiness and find that it is impermanent. The happiness of meditation.
When
it
you
can
start,
go away, it can be
when
intense.
You start, it's impermanent. See, but once you become adept, you can maintain it all the time. When you first start, it's like a child learning how to walk. You cannot walk right away. You stand up, then you fall down, and then get up and walk for a few steps, and you fall down again. But as the child grow up, he can begin to walk more and more, and then eventually he can walk all the time. It's the same way with meditation. When you first meditate, you sort of have very briefly happiness. Once you stop, it disappears. But if you can continue on doing all the time, then you will be able to have it all the time. Okay?
Thank you, Sadhu.
All right. You still have questions? Okay. No, him.
Ajahn.
Yes.
When we talk about ending of defilements, does it mean that the Arahant does not feel any greed, hatred and delusion anymore? Or is it that the greed and hatred is still there, but the Arahant learns not to attach to them?
I think they can completely get rid of them because they have full control of the mind. They know the cause of the greed, and they can get rid of that cause of the greed. It's delusion. Somebody over there. Okay, so go ahead.
One more question.
All right.
Just now in the Thai talk, Ajahn mentioned about Tevata.
Yes.
Can Ajahn translate that part of the talk?
It's heaven, see. When the mind do good karma, the mind becomes happy. This happy state of mind is called Devata when there is no body. Or heaven, Sawan. So the mind becomes heaven or the mind becomes Devata. You can use the mind as a person or as a place. The mind can be both. Sometimes we use it as a person, we call him a Deva. Sometimes we use it as a place, we call it heaven. But it's in the mind. There's no other place that is heaven. It's in your mind and my mind. and it's the result of your good or bad, your good karma. So try to do karma like dana, and maintaining the sila will send you to heaven, will make you become a deva. You can be a deva before you die. Your body might be a human, but your mind is already a deva. If you keep the 5 precepts and you give dana, constant, regular dana. Okay, someone over there. Okay, can you please pass the microphone over there?
Yes, Ajahn, good afternoon. Ajahn, when we meditate and sometimes we achieve a certain amount of calm, that is happiness, all right, and then we know that we have progressed when we can note our own defilements and look into ourselves. But there comes a time when there seems to be stagnation in the meditation process, and you don't seem to be moving anywhere. Is there any is there any way we can break through this stagnation?
You have to increase your amount of practice. Once you reach a certain point, it becomes saturated. If you want to go beyond this, you have to increase the amount of practice. Say like for instance, if you practice for 2 hours a day, you have to increase it to 3 or 4 hours in order to go over the stagnation.
So we just increase
more practice, especially mindfulness. You have to. Mindfulness is the leading factor. If you have mindfulness, strong mindfulness, then your practice will move forward very quickly and easily. Okay. And you speak close to the microphone because it's quite loud.
My question is it possible that more than one mind in one body? The reason I'm asking this is
there is one mind, but it changes. The state of mind changes. Sometimes you are happy, sometimes you are sad, sometimes you are good, sometimes you are bad. But it is the same mind.
Okay, there's one. I think there are 2 examples. One is sometimes, this is just an example. Sometimes if I look at a person, before I can recognize a person, there's a voice telling me that who is this person? Where did this voice come from?
It's from your memory.
Memory.
Yeah, because sometimes you recognize that person in your past life before. So when you see him again, even though he might have a different kind of body, but his movement, his action doesn't change.
Okay, and another situation is for those mental illness people, like for example those bipolar disorder or multipolar disorder people, the behavior can be changed from one extreme to another extreme, and they have forgotten that what they have done. Something like you have 2 minds in one body.
Yeah, because they don't have mindfulness to control the body to be constant. See? The defilement will push them back and forth, and the condition of things around that person can be the cause of their mood changes. Sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have bad days. But if you have mindfulness, you can maintain the mind to be constant, not to swing back and forth.
Thank you.
Nobody? Okay, back here. Can you send the microphone back here?
Sorry, one question before it's over.
Okay.
In body contemplation, Ajahn advised that we focus from the perspective of impermanence, non-self, and unattractiveness of the body. So, do we just pick one of these aspects to do body contemplation, or do we have to practice all 3 equally well?
Well, you have the contemplation is the tool that you want to use to help you get rid of your attachment to the body. So whichever way of contemplating can make you get rid of your attachment toward the body is okay. Right now you attach to your body because you think it is you, see. So you might have to contemplate the 4 elements to see that the body is not you. Or if you look for your body, look for yourself in this body, you go through the 32 parts. See if there's any part of this that is really you, you know. It's just your perception of yourself as being the body, that's all. So you want to get rid of this perception by looking at the real truth. So you go through the 32 parts and ask yourself, which part of this 32 part is me? Am I the hair of the head? Am I hair of the body? Am I the nail, the teeth, and so forth? If you go run through all these 32 parts, you won't find yourself in this. Then it's like when you lose your key and you think you left it in your bag. So what you do, you go to your bag and empty the bag out and find out if there's a key in the bag or not. If you cannot find the key in the bag, then you know that you misplaced your thought. You know, your thought is not true to the reality. So the keys are not in your bag. So you have to go find it somewhere else. The same way when you empty your body by looking through the 32 parts, you'll find that there's no you. What do you look like? You look like the heart or the intestine or the lungs. You know. You're not them, see. Then this is the way that you get rid of your perception of self in the body. Or when the body dies, when you cremate, where are you? You know? Are you the earth, the water, the fire, or the wind? Yeah. They are just the 4 elements. Yeah. Then you can get rid of your attachment to your body. Once you see that the body isn't you, then you will not have any desire to cling to the body, to wish the body not to get old, get sick, or die. When you don't have this desire, then there is no suffering. When the body get old, get sick, or die, you just feel calm and undisturbed, because you look at the body as it somebody else's body, not your body. So this is, and when you contemplate on the Asupa, you have another purpose. You want to get rid of your sexual desires. When you look at the body that's good looking, you have this attachment, attraction. You want to possess that body. You want to have happiness with that body. But if you look inside out, look at the other parts of the body, it can make you feel repulsive toward that body, and can get rid of your sexual desire toward that body. So this is another purpose. Contemplating of the body has several purposes. One is to see anicca, the impermanence of the body. So you have to look at the body of getting old, getting sick, and die. This is so that you can see it is anicca, impermanent. And you want to look at asupa in order to get rid of your sexual desire, your attraction toward that body. And you want to also get rid of your attachment, your delusion to think that the body is you, by looking at it as the 4 elements. How does the body? How is the body formed? Formed by the food you eat, the air you breathe in, the water you drink. These are the 4 elements. Where does the food come from? Rise from the field, right? From the earth. And when it goes into the body, it starts to build the 32 parts. And when the body stops functioning, stops breathing, then this 32 part, they will then disintegrate into the 4 elements. You have to contemplate until you see that there is no self in this body. That this body is impermanent. That this body is not attractive. Then you can get rid of your craving toward this body. There มีคนข้างหลังผู้ชายข้างหลัง
ท่านอาจารย์ I have one question to ask you regarding the karma. To born in a human is quite hard, and to born in a man is quite hard. But how come that some person that maybe they born in a man, but they have become a lady boy, and what sort of karma that really causes of that, and to prevent that if one of the lifetime that become a human and a man and try to not to become a lady boy.
Well, the Buddha said for you to analyze karma is not, it's up and beyond your pay grade. It's beyond your intelligence, your ability to really see why. So the Buddha said sometimes you just have to accept it for what it is. That sometimes people are born with a male body, but the mind is still female. That's all. How this mixed up get up, we don't know. It's beyond our comprehension. But this thing doesn't affect our practice. Whether you're born with a female body and you still feel like you're a male, doesn't change the simple fact that you're still attached to the body, and that you still have to contemplate on the anicca, dukkha, anatta nature of the body. So it doesn't matter. The Buddha said, he gave you an example of a person who was shot by an arrow, and then a physician came to help, and he wants to pull the arrow out. But the person who is being shot by the arrow said, please, before you do this, can you go find out about the person who shot me? Whether he was a man or a woman, what family he came from, and what type of arrow it is made up of. The doctor or the physician said, if I go look for this information, you'll be dead. If you don't let me pull the arrow and fix your wound. So the Buddha said, there are things that you don't need to know, wasting your time. What you should know is how to fix your mind, how to get rid of your suffering.
Sadhu.
Okay.
And one of the questions that about a few months ago, my mom was in the hospital, and she was sick by the virus. And when that time I was going home back, and I was taking a rest, but there's a mosquito that was biting me in my hand. But when I opened my eyes, then I saw it's the mosquito. But the first thought that coming up is because the virus, maybe the virus. So the first thought that my action was killed because of maybe there's a virus that may be killing me because of the 5%. If normally I won't be killing the mosquito, I will be blowing off away. But because of my mom have the virus to attack then she was staying in the hospital. So my action was maybe the beast, or there's a virus, so I will action with it because he may be killing me. So my action was killing me.
Yeah, but you don't think of the consequence of your action. You might have to be reborn as a mosquito and pay what you did to the mosquito. See? But if you don't kill the mosquito, you die anyway, whether you kill or don't kill the mosquito.
But
if you don't kill the mosquito, then you don't have to be reborn as a mosquito.
Sorry, but if someone that you are killing, that taking something to kill me, but the thoughts maybe he was killing me in using something, but my action maybe you're trying to kill me. My action was going to kill him back. That kind of. But if he never kill me, I won't be killing him. That kind of still have that.
Yeah, you lack metta. See, the Buddha said you should forgive people. Don't revenge. If somebody did something to you, just accept that is your bad karma that caused you to have to face this action. But you don't have to instigate a new karma by revenging. Then you would not. Then they will not come back and do anything to you again. If you revenge, they hurt you, you hurt them, they'll come back and hurt you again, and it will never ending. But if you stop, then everything will eventually stop.
Sadhu.
Okay. Okay, anybody else? If not, I'll give you the anumodana. because it's about time. And if anybody wants to give dana or wants to receive books later, let me do it. We have English books over there. We have books in English over there. You can go browse and take what you want. Okay. So let me do the Anumodana first. Then, okay. I'll do the Anumodana, then you can give the dana later. Yatha wari waha pura paripurenti sakarang eva meva ito tinang petanang upakapati ichitang patitang tumhang kipameva samicchatu sapphe purentu sankapa yanto panara so yatha manichoti raso yatha sappitiyo vivachantu sapparoko vinasatu mate pavatravantarayo sukhiti kayuko pava Apivatanasi litsa nitjang vuttha pacayino Jataro Dhamma Vatanti Ayu Vano Sukhang Phalang